Territory Manager, Academic Programs, NI Systems, India Private Limited, Bangalore. Uh, He's currently working as Territory Manager, Academic Programs at National Instruments, India, and handling the major responsibility as improving the quality of engineering and science education. His main focus is on introducing students at all the levels to do engineering, so that students can solve the 21st century system design challenges with industry-ready skills. He and his team is working with partners in the education ecosystem to help and prepare the students to be competent enough to take advantage of opportunities in a new global environment. He has 17 years of experience in application development, technical sales, and marketing, and leading the education initiatives in India and Sri Lanka. He holds his BE degree in electronics and communication from Pondicherry University. He is faculty of IUCTE and FLP Faculty Leadership Program representing NI. So he's actively involved in board of studies at different universities and autonomous institutions across India. He's also project advisory committee member of ISTE WPLP Working Professionals for Learning Project program. He has traveled widely in India, Sri Lanka, and has delivered keynote talks in more than 300 engineering institutions. He has delivered more than 500 technical lectures on experimental engineering education on varied technology topics. He has established many LabVIEW academies and Center of Excellences in India using NI graphical system design platform. So he has delivered technical presentation on Do Engineering at WEF 2019, that is World Engineering Education Forum at Chennai. So he is also industry member at GEDC India chapter. He is working very closely with students and encourages them to be entrepreneurs, startups using NI platform. As the result today, more than 10 plus startups who is working in NI platform for different projects and domains. He has introduced new normal education system as remote engineering education to more than 100 plus institutions. His key interest areas include virtual instrumentation, system design, cyber-enabled physical systems, measurement and automation, FPGA-based embedded system design, signal and image processing, sensors, data acquisition, and signal conditioning. So with this introduction, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Jagdishwaran sir. So over to you, sir. Jagdishwaran sir.
Yeah. Thank you. My name is Vishweshwaran. My father's name is Jagadishan.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So we need to call you Vishweshwaran, right, sir?
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry for the confusion.
No problem. Thank you, sir. So very good morning to all of you. Great pleasure to interact with all of you on fifth day of short-term training program organized by Nagarjuna College of Engineering Technology with the support of AICTE. I'm sure you might have been enjoyed the last 4 days of session, Monday to Thursday. I got an opportunity to work with the team NCET to suggest some of the resource persons whom you could be able to interact the last 4 days. So with this, I thank sincerely for the opportunity extended from NCET to interact with you all today for next 1 hour, 1.5 hours maximum. Hope you will enjoy and get benefit out of this session. So before getting into the session, let me disconnect my video so that the network issues will not be there. And then I will switch it on again when we have a questionnaire sessions. Okay. The biggest challenge is when we all are attending the sessions remotely through online mode. I'm sure there are hundreds of issues we individually will face, including me, right? So like how you are learning this new normal education system, the same way industry, we used to visit in person, interact with the people in person in the past. Now we are also trying to do most of the things as much as possible in the information communication mode, nothing but online mode. The biggest challenge is we are not sure the opposite person is active, listening, not listening, all these challenges, right? So I will try my level best to make it sure we both will interact in this session and we both will learn together in this session. So kindly accept uh, if I happen to ask you some questions to make it sure you are attending, you are answering. The purpose is very simple. I'm a selfish guy, so I wanted to make it sure I don't want to talk to the machines. I want to talk to the people, right? So it is my selfish reason. I may point out few people to respond. Unmute yourself. Even though it is 100% noisy environment, still I'm fine because I'm also sitting in my home. You can see in the background the cooker whistle is coming, right? So I completely agree that it's not a big problem if your place is noisy. If your network is very slow, you no need to switch on the camera, but I would appreciate if you can unmute yourself and answer some of the interactions what we are going to have, so that the session will be more effective and efficient. So that is a purpose. uh, I will share my screen. Okay, how many of you agree this? I can allowed to ask question. You are requested to unmute yourself and answer. You can put in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and say yes, no, or some issues, whatever you have. So I'll wait for the answer. Thank you, ma'am, for volunteering. Manjushri, ma'am. Okay, great. I don't know what happened to other 31 people. Awesome. Mohan Kumar sir, thank you. You have to type either 3-letter word or 2-letter word. It should not take much time. In your phone also you can do, I believe. You can say yes or you can say no. Yeah. Great. Fantastic. So morning, right? 9:30 morning, 9:45 morning. We should be active. I know 100% I'm sure we all are not doing single job now. We have to do multiple jobs because we all are sitting in the home. I hope significant percentage of people are sitting in the home handling your classes. Also, you have to manage your children who is having online class, very young. They cannot do it themselves. I completely agree. In front of me, my daughters are sitting. So I will not be surprised if there is a delay, there is a lag. But let us put our best so that the next 1 hour will be effective. Okay, so thank you, volunteering few people, saying yes for asking questions during my presentation. Let me share my screen. One of you can unmute yourself and say you are able to hear my voice clearly and see the video, the presentation also, presentation slide.
Yes, sir. We are able to see the presentation slide as well as we are able to hear your audio well.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Great. I'm very happy. I'm not talking to the computer today. I'm talking to the people. Okay. So the first point I wanted to explain to you is National Instruments, which was a very well-known company in the market last 42 years. The company renamed the identity, in verbal identity as well as the visual identity. So we renamed the company from National Instruments to NI. So earlier, many people used to call National Instruments itself NI. So you may be surprised what is the difference. The difference is we no more wanted to call ourselves as a instruments company. National Instruments, right? That is what the people think immediately. National Instruments means it's an instrumentation company, and it is more related to instrumentation based departments. So that is the biggest challenge why we are forced to change the company verbal identity, National Instruments, right? So NI. The second reason, in many countries, national word gives the different impression. People think that it's a government organization. So for your information, we are not a government entity, right? We are a American multinational organization, very popular for test and measurements, very popular for automation, etc., etc. So we are not doing just instrumentation alone. We are doing many things on IoT, cyber physical systems, 5G, etc., etc. So in that context, NI took a bold decision to rename the verbal identity as well as the visual identity. People who are all very familiar of attending NI based events, seminars using NI softwares, you may be seen our logo was eagle symbol earlier. Now our logo is just NI. This is our logo. Okay. This I wanted to tell you as a first information because the company evolved last 40 years and wanted to help engineers and scientists like you to be more productive, more innovative, and discover things faster. In simple form, we want you to take it to the level of doing something which is very, very ambitious, right? That is what engineers always try to do, moving away from the comfortable zone. Okay. So today, the next 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, whatever I have now, the agenda is this. I'm going to talk about why, what, how, which is NI graphical system design platform. I'm going to talk about that for next 1 hour. And then in this 1 hour, I'm also going to showcase how the education, which is basically a teaching side of platform with the NI, and the research side of NI platform will help you to do that. And we'll keep it open for question and answers. Okay. Again, to make the session more effective, I want you to log in right now. Website called menti.com, either from your phone or your desktop or laptop, and enter the password 5842533. Menti.com. The moment you enter, log in menti.com and type the URL 5842533, you will get this. This is the question. 5842533. The question is, what challenge you see in your online education? This is what you are doing last almost 9 months now, right? So as an individual, I don't know how many of you here research scholar, how many of you here faculty member from internal, external. I don't know how many of you here undergraduate students, but whatever may be, if you can contribute answering this poll, that will help me to understand what is a common challenge each individual face during the online education. I will repeat for others if you are not able to participate in the poll. It's a link called menti.com, menti.com. It will ask you a passcode 5842533. 5842533. Great. So people are participating. Right now, the number says 39. I will remove 2-3 people because duplication here. So 35 people, I am looking for the response as quick as possible. So I'll give you 30 more seconds. So make it fast. Menti.com 5842533. Mohan Kumar sir, could you able to participate in the poll? Mohan Kumar CR. Okay. Dr. Gaurav Sharma, could you able to participate in the poll? Can you unmute yourself and say hello? Dr. Gaurav Sharma. Okay. Dr. S. Bhargavi ma'am. Okay. What happened? Rohit sir, could you able to hear?
Yes, sir, it's audible, sir.
Dr. Gaurav Sharma, Dr. Mohan Kumar CR, Bhargavi ma'am. I hope you are able to listen. Gaurav Sharma, yes, hello sir, yes sir. Okay, great, thank you. Okay, you could able to participate, thank you. So let me see quickly the poll. The poll is right now 9 out of 37 participated. It's a very simple, no? Menti.com and the passcode is 5842533. There is a question, there are 4 options. You have to choose whichever you feel is the challenge in the online education. See, this is the problem I'm sure 100% you will be facing in your classes. You are talking to your students through online mode. You are assuming that 60 people logged in, but out of 60, how many of them listening? It's a big challenge, right? One way is we can keep on blaming each other. We can say, sir, the students are uh, not active, effective, blah blah. Some reason, right? To tell the reason, it is not very big challenge, right? So everybody can find a reason. So, like how I am facing a challenge now, I asked a question to log in to the poll and participate. I'm not able to get 100% attendance. The same way, when you are handling the class, one of the biggest challenges engagement, engaging the students, engaging the audience remotely is the biggest challenge. So motivate me in the morning today to proceed on my presentation. See, after you talk for 45 minutes in the class, if you are asking few questions to 4 or 5 people and none of them responds, look at the feel. It's a big, right? Big challenge. Okay. More than 4 minutes I have given to participate in the poll. Anybody have a problem in participating? Any challenge you are facing? Because 12 people only participated at this point of time out of 35. Any problem you are facing so that I will understand and let us not waste our time and proceed forward. Venkateshwarlu sir, you wanted to say something? Hello, Dr. Venkateshwarlu sir.
Sir, we face the challenge for feeling the isolation in the classroom. If you physically,
No. I'm sorry. The question was, are you facing any challenge in participating in the poll? Because
no. I voted, sir. Polling, I done
okay,
isolation. I click.
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. 39 people are there in the meeting. Out of 39, remove some 2-3 duplication, and then if you consider 35, only 14 were able to participate. That's why I was
Yeah,
trying to understand any problem in logging in and any problem in entering the passcode. Just I was worried.
it's working fine, sir. Password, everything is working fine.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. But in future, okay, there is another poll also in between. So I will leave it at this point of time because we are given almost 6-7 minutes, but only 14 people out of 35 could be able to share your thoughts in this poll. I don't want to take a judgment. You are not present. You are not listening. I trust you. Due to some reason, you are not able to participate fully. To respect all our time, I will go and start my presentation. Please make it sure you will be able to participate in the second poll after some time. Okay. So I'm going to start with the platform what NI provides, NI graphical system design platform. You might have been heard about this last 4 days from different speakers, starting from Mr. K. Jayaraman, Manimaran, and Ganga Madam, and so on, even Kumar sir in that regards. I'm going to give you the angle from NI, why this graphical system design platform is important for researcher, for educator, and for scientists from research organizations or industry folks. So when I started thinking why the graphical system design platform is important, I thought of different angle. The first angle is what is happening around us as a technology. You might have been heard all these technologies last 3-4 years in different form. Either you might have been introduced to some of these topics in the elective courses, or you might have been attended some conferences, workshops, seminars, training programs, or you might have been doing research in any one of these area like 5G or IoT or machine learning, deep learning, or robotics. Somehow you would have been heard about all this technology. Gaming technology is very fast growing technology. Even there are some universities in India, they started a UG PG program with a specialization of gaming. And digital twinning, you might have been heard. Quantum computing, there is a huge amount of fund allocated from government of India, almost 8,000 crore for setting up a high-end performance computing to do these analytics. You might have been heard all this in most of our day-to-day life, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, etc., etc. So the point which I wanted to take you from this slide is that the technologies are evolving very, very fast. And irrespective of the application or domain, whether pharmaceutical application or healthcare or development of ventilator or marine engineering or structural engineering or agricultural or automation, people started adopting all these technologies. Today, Amazon is a good example, right? If you start buying a specific type of items on regular basis, the data will be analyzed in the background, and the next time when you log in, automatically it will pops up you and say, hey, these are all the items, new products which might be interesting to you, because somebody is doing machine learning, somebody is doing data analytics, somebody is able to recommend the right things for you, right? So everywhere you can see all these technologies are going to play a critical role in this century, 21st century. Okay. The second angle is education. The normal education we all are practiced last so many years, right? There is a specific environment called classroom, called lab, where the students will get into the learning majorly. And whatever the doubt clarification students need, they always think teachers as the go-to solution. And you know how to evaluate the learning of students by conducting internal assessments, periodical tests, and final exams. And in some universities and institutions, the gadgets like laptop and mobile phones are not entertained to use inside the classroom or college. That story was over. these all called pre-COVID scenario, right? The new normal, which people call, is learn anywhere, anytime, at any pace. If I'm a student, I'm not a fast learner. I'm a slow learner in my classroom. Today, I no need to worry because the sessions, topics, concepts, lectures are recorded. I can play again and again as long as I want to make it understand. I'm maybe very ambitious guy. I wanted to do my build my career in 5G, 6G, wireless, advanced communication. Today, I may be studying in a college in Bangalore, but because I am very ambitious, I may or I will get an opportunity today to listen the experts from UT Austin or TU Dresden or NTU Singapore by sitting here, right? So that is what the new normal, the post-COVID situation brought to us in the education system. And you know all this mode of learning. And with respect to the laboratories, if you look at, there are three major way of engagement happening with the students to do experimentation, to do the lab experiments. One is a virtual labs, the other one is a remote labs, the third one is do it yourself or build your own device. But the point is very simple. The evolution is happening in the education also in this century. Okay. The third one, because of these changes happening in the technology level as well as in the education level, how the recruitment will be for our students, whether the industry will look for some new type of competencies from our students or what type of competencies they will look from our students. With respect to this slide, whether it is a pre-COVID or post-COVID, I wanted to reiterate whether it is a pre-COVID or post-COVID, the industries are looking, these are all the competencies from our students. What are all the competencies? A decent communication skill, whether they could be able to communicate what they are thinking. Understanding the engineering fundamentals. When he or she is doing a 4-year, 3-year engineering, whether they able to understand all the concepts, whatever they are learning. Critical thinking. Rather than having a stereo model, whether the students are able to think critically the problem and go out of box so that the creativity will be demonstrated, the innovation will be demonstrated, and work with the teams as a multidisciplinary and apply the knowledge whatever they acquired in the engineering. So these are the typical skill sets and competencies the industries are looking, particularly I will say core engineering industries. I'm not bothered about the IT enabled servicing industries. Those companies always look for very few skill sets. One of the skill set is programming and a few communication skills, attitude, all these things, right? But if you look at the core engineering, the critical skills required are how much the students are the candidate able to apply the engineering, whatever they learned from the fundamentals to the system level thinking, innovative way of thinking, out of box thinking, etc., right? This is also very important because being an educator, we should know how do we prepare our students employable. Okay, why we have to do all this? Because the challenges in front of us as a 21st century grand engineering challenge are Atmanirbhar, right? India, it is coined as Atmanirbhar or sustainable development goals, SDG. In order to solve the grand challenges of India or the global challenges, we have to adapt the technology. We have to adapt the new form of education, and we have to prepare our students with those skills and competencies so that they will be employable. Employable means they will able to go to those industries, healthcare industries, or automation industries, or cyber space industries, or infrastructure industries, and they could be able to develop the new products, and they can solve the new way of solving or new way of getting solutions. In this process, the very interesting element is use the right tools for discovery and innovation. Most of the time, if you look at your students, no, undergraduate level students, they will try to do what they don't know. But if you look at the scholars, PhD scholars, they will always try to find what nobody knows. But in both the case, the rate of discovery is important. This guy will have 3-4 years of time, and this guy will have 5 to 8 years of time maximum, based on the full-time or part-time PhD which he is doing. So in both the case, I don't have infinite time. I have only limited time. So in the available time, how do I prepare myself so that I can solve the global grand engineering challenges by adapting the technology? Okay. So what is the method we have to follow being an educator so that the engineering will be interesting to the students? This is not new what I'm showing now. If you allow your students to do as much as possible, they will understand more. In other cases, the learning will be minimum, significantly minimum. Right? So you all experience. If you go and talk to the students for 45 minutes, there is a very high probability they will forget because they're just listening. But in the same classroom, if you can showcase some of the concepts what you are teaching, like signals and system, or digital signal processing, or electromagnetic field theory, or control system, then what will happen? Students will visualize, oh, this is the way the aliasing effect will be. This is the way the time domain response of the signal and the frequency domain response of the signal they are seeing. And if you also take it to one more step and say, hey, these are all the components, breadboard, instruments, why don't you build yourself an amplifier or oscillator or a filter and take your voice as the real signal and see how your filter will respond for your real-time signal. That makes the students to understand. And that is what most of the company look from the students. They all are having an engineering degree, but would they able to demonstrate those skills and knowledge whatever they acquired in the interview process? Okay. Now I'll take you what NI can do to prepare the students in this journey. So NI provides a platform called graphical system design. If you look at my slide very carefully, it has the first element, which is called a software, LabVIEW, and it has a processor, FPGA, and analog I/O, digital I/Os. So this is from NI. Basically, NI says, I will give you a software LabVIEW. I will give you a hardware which has a processing capability or processor. Okay, processing capability with a real-time processor or a FPGA processor with a real-world interface, analog and digital. And the hardware can be like this. The hardware name be compact trio. The hardware name can be a PXI system. The hardware name can be a compact DAC, or the hardware name can be a simple data acquisition device. So looks like both are same. So NI says, I will give you a software and a hardware. So you can see this hardware can be like this or like this or like this or like this in different names, right? Like how we have different type of phones. All the phones functionality wise pretty much same. Some phone will have more features. Some phones will have less number of features, but typically all the phones will perform the similar type of operation, right? The same thing you have to consider here. I have a software, which is LabVIEW, and I have a hardware. Basically, the functionality of the hardware is a processor with a real-time processor with the FPGA with IOs. That can be any of this. And what these two will do, is these two will help you to do any type of measurement, any type of testing, any type of monitoring, developing embedded system and control with seamless integration. The software and the hardware will have a seamless integration. So what it means is, suppose you wanted to do some research on wireless communication. You wanted to measure the free spectrum available. You wanted to measure the free spectrum available. And you want to develop a community radio. What you're doing? You're doing measurements. Suppose you are doing a research in Qualcomm industry and you wanted to test the new type of IC or chipset which you have developed. You wanted to do a lot of voltage, current measurement, power measurement, the IC characteristics with respect to the voltage and current, with respect to the temperature versus voltage, with respect to the boundary conditions, etc., etc. All type of testing, right? Or you want to develop some complex control where the robot should go to the sea under the depth of 300, 400 meter and do some analysis on identifying the seabed particles. A closed loop real-time control. So your application can be a measurement application or test application or monitoring application or embedded system application or control application. The domain can be agriculture domain or a mechanical domain or a robotics domain or a communication domain, but using the software and hardware, you can able to perform. You can able to perform a complete system. You can able to perform a complete system design, and you can able to perform complete system design in a graphical environment. Because you already completed a 4-day session, you might have been experienced seeing how LabVIEW program is graphical, right? So that is what NI claims. You decide what you want to do. We will provide you a software LabVIEW and a right type of hardware. Basically, a hardware has a real-time processor with FPGA, with analog I/O, digital IOs, and we'll give the flexibility to the user. You decide what type of measurement, what type of monitoring you want to do in what type of domain. You may be surprised how it is possible. One software and one type of hardware can do a variety of applications and domains. How it is possible? A simple example to compare. If you look at my slide, these are all the instruments we have used in the past as a dedicated functionality based instruments, right? These are the dedicated instruments. But today, we are not using any of this. Everything available in our phone. And how it is possible? Somebody thought, I will give you a software, I will give you a type of hardware which has a common architecture and give the flexibility to the user. Hey, you wanted to do a Tatkal booking, use the same phone to do a Tatkal booking. You wanted to do a recording of the audio, video, use the same phone to do it. You wanted to do online money transfer, use the same phone, download, install an app and do your money transfer. You want to watch the cricket match? Yes, same. You want to do chat with your friends, LinkedIn, Facebook, use the same phone. When that is possible, a same hardware which has the seamless integration of a software and allow the user to define what they want to do, and that is what NI thought. If I give a software and hardware which has a seamless integration and give the flexibility to the user, you decide what you want to do. And that is the reason today 36,000 industries worldwide uses NI platform for test and measurement, automation, design and deployment, verification and validation, real-time prototyping, etc., etc., etc. I will take another example. How we can implement such things in our engineering, a 3 year, 4 years of engineering. One way I'm saying 3 year, some students will join as a lateral, right? Or in many colleges, the first year courses will be more of general. science and humanities based courses. The engineering courses will not be in the first year, most of the universities. That's why I'm keep on telling 3-year program. So how do you encourage the students to learn systems design in the engineering, right? So let us take, in the second year, you are teaching concepts like sensors, signals and system course, analog digital electronics, basic control systems, etc., etc. In the final year, if your students wants to develop application like drone, unless otherwise they also learn a complex control system or how to develop a embedded system or how to work on wireless communication, they cannot develop a drone as a system. Today, what is happening? The students will be learning all these subjects or concepts in their second year, in the third year, and they want to do this in the fourth year. But how they are learning? They will learn all these concepts along with various tools. For example, when you say I want to do something on circuits, people will recommend use a SPICE simulation tool. Maybe Arcade, maybe Tina Pro, because it's a free downloadable software, or some other tools. When somebody wants to do something on control system, people always recommend please use MATLAB Simulink. When you want to do something on signal processing, people will recommend use MATLAB, or they will also say if you wanted to process the signal in the DSP processor, use Code Composer Studio. And if your embedded system is FPGA, then you have to learn hardware description language, VHDL or Verilog. And if you are using some MIMO or a software defined radio application, you may go for open source software like GNU. So look at here. I want to develop a drone, which is my dream project, as a system. In order to build this system, today I have to learn DSP processor with a Code Composer Studio as a programming language. I want to develop an amplifier to drive the motor. I have to learn SPICE simulation tool. I have to develop a complex control system. I have to learn MATLAB and Simulink. I wanted to develop a embedded programming with the Xilinx FPGA, Zinc family FPGA. I have to learn hardware description language and tools like GNU, etc., etc. For what purpose? For developing a single project. Is it practically possible for a student to learn all this in a one semester or multiple semester to develop this? So what NI thought, if I give a software and hardware which can be used from the first year, second year, third year till the final year, beyond the final year, when they go to industry, that will be effective, that will be useful, so that the students will focus on innovation rather than implementation. Because what will happen, all the tools, whatever the students are learning, that may be or may not be used by the industry. But the concepts, whatever the students learning, that will be highly used by industry in the core engineering. So we have to encourage the students to focus on innovation rather than implementation. So in that context, what NI did, use a software which will consume minimum time. And that is the reason LabVIEW was developed. So you will see here, the LabVIEW software is completely graphical. At the same time, if you wanted to bring algorithm which is developed in the tools like MATLAB or C or HDL, still you can able to integrate and you can able to be more innovative. So the idea is you have to focus on innovation rather than implementation and learning different tools and integrating all these tools, which consumes lot of your energy. And when I say LabVIEW, it is again the same, the graphical system design architecture. You have a software which can be done completely graphical, or you can integrate with the C, HDL or MATLAB or Simulink or state chart. And the LabVIEW can be programmed in any of the form factor like FPGA or DSP processor or real-time processor or a desktop processor. It can be deployed into a piece of silicon, right? And you can develop a complete design to deployments of any system, from the mathematical modeling till deploying into a silicon. And when I say LabVIEW, please remember LabVIEW is a family of tools. That is the reason you can able to perform various engineering applications. So for example, LabVIEW has image processing tool. LabVIEW has dynamics vibration tool. LabVIEW has advanced signal processing tools like wavelet, digital filter design, MATLAB interface, communication toolkit, robotics toolkit, biomedical toolkit, GPS simulation toolkit, GPU analysis toolkit, PID fuzzy toolkit. LabVIEW has the motion control toolbox. LabVIEW has application builder where you can convert your program into an installer, exe file, right? So all these tools are available as a package of LabVIEW. And what you will do with this software, it's up to you again. If I ask you what you will do with your phone, it is up to you, right? In the same way, what you will do with all this software package, you can do signal processing, you can do software development, power electronics, robotics, communication, antenna, characterization, signals and system, digital electronics, etc., etc., etc. In a simple form, these are the labs you can use it in the circuit-based courses, and these are all the labs you can use it in the mechanical, mechatronics, automobile, civil engineering courses. And this is the way you can prepare your students to build systems in the very, very early semester. Even in the first year, second year level, your students can build something like this rather than waiting for final year, because the programming environment is graphical, because the hardware is having seamless integration with software. You might have been seen the demonstration of DAC, you might have been seen the demonstration of Rio, etc. So those tools are tightly integrated, and today you can build a vehicle which is autonomous, which has signal processing, which has communication, which has control system, which has kinematics, which has image processing. All were possible by a first year, second year students, because they are focusing on system based learning, system based development, right? This is a one example I will show you. Okay, I will pause it here. Let me go back to the audience and keep it open for questions. Any questions? Okay, I have only 16 responses in the poll out of 41. Okay, any questions at this point of time? I don't know whether some of the things may be repetitive because it's already 4 days over, but it would be good if few of you can unmute yourself quickly and share any question, any thoughts, any inputs.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, to do something we need to hear and see, no? We cannot go directly for doing something without
Absolutely.
hearing somebody like you now.
Absolutely. I agree, ma'am. So what is the question? The question is the same, ma'am. To do something.
We need to hear because without hearing we cannot do anything. So what
Absolutely.
the percentage of hearing and seeing and doing should be there in engineering environment for
There is a,
students?
there is a very beautiful report, ma'am. There is a beautiful research done by a group of educators. 25% was the learning when you allow your students to just hear. If you allow your students to see and hear, then the knowledge the students will acquire is around 55 to 60%. When you
Okay.
allow your students to learn by hearing plus seeing plus doing, then the knowledge is 95%. I did not say this is the article. If you Google it, you will get it.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
But many colleges, what we are doing because of lot of challenges internally,
Yeah.
we will stop at seeing, or we will stop at only hearing.
Yeah.
And the labs are pathetic, right?
Lab.
The doing piece is very, very pathetic. We will have standard 10, 12 experiments. 4 experiments are study experiments. 3 experiments never will work, last so many years. Remaining 4 experiments will be there. In the 4 experiments, a group of 4 students have to do. And when a group of 4 students do an experiment, what would be the learning? I don't want to get into the problem. We all know, because you all are
But
teaching last so many years.
but we will be having restrictions on number of hours available, and the students' mentality also. We need to change all that.
Yeah, I agree, ma'am. That's
Yeah.
why I don't want to get into that piece which I cannot control. You cannot
Yeah.
control.
Yes, sir.
But we should know we are
Yeah.
not doing a fullest potential what is possible. That at least we should know what we are not doing also. So that wherever there is a possibility, wherever there is an opportunity, you would be able to do it. For example, I will take a critical piece. Sir, majority of the colleges will say, sir, we don't have a fund to modernize the lab. The awesome. If we introduce the latest technology, latest LabVIEW, all these things are awesome. We can able to significantly, for example, today the learning is reaching only 50% of the students in the classroom. If you bring the innovative way of learning, the percentage will become 55 or 60%. But the fund is the biggest challenge. How do we get the fund? One example is this. I'm sure some of you may be aware, some of you may be applying, preparing, but I because the questions are related to this, I want to take this opportunity to show you. AICTE gives fund, lots of fund.
Yes.
And there is one fund currently open also, AICTE Research Promotion Scheme. It is opened on 14th November, ending on 20th December. In general category, in rural category, in management category, I don't know what is in the ADF. There are 4 categories they are giving the fund. The fund is 25 lakhs. Nothing wrong in applying. If our proposal is qualified enough, there is a high probability we may get some grant, and with that grant we may able to do a little small baby step towards improvisation. Similarly, there is another scheme which you all are very familiar and very popular scheme also, modernization and obsolescence removal, MODROP. It is opening on 21 December. It is again online. I don't know the deadline. They did not put the deadline. Maybe it will get updated later. But the grant is around 20 lakhs. For example, today, if you are after attending the last 4 days and today's session or tomorrow's session, you are taking a decision. Hey, I wanted to improvise my laboratory of communication lab or signal processing lab or circuits lab. This is the opportunity for you. You can write a proposal, and if the fund is granted, it's an opportunity for you to improvise that lab. Right? If your management is kind enough to give the grant, it's awesome. But let us try these options also, right? You are affiliated to AICTE, so why don't we try this option? Okay, let me go back to the questions. Any other thoughts? Any other questions? The chat, let me see. Can we assign project for final year? I could not able to understand. Yeah, you can assign. If you make me clear, I would be able to give a right answer. See, these are all the challenges in the online education, right? Your students also will have doubt like this. They will type. As a faculty, you will understand in multiple ways. So assume that you are student, I am the faculty. When you are typing like, can we assign project for final year? What I will understand? I will say yes. So when the students are sitting in the classroom, when they are asking the question itself, there are a lot of misunderstanding, right? So online education is not easy. We all have to learn together. So Mr. Mohan Kumar sir, can you please unmute yourself and help me? Can we assign project for final year means what it mean? Okay. So I will pass like to do actually projects using remote labs. Okay. Okay. I'm going to cover what is meant by remote lab. After that, I'm sure you will able to understand, and still you have that question uh, not clear. I will be able to answer it. Yeah. It's a very, very good question. Now I understood the full meaning of the question. You wanted to you wanted to encourage your students to do project, but in order to do the project, you need the access of the software and hardware, which is currently in the campus. So you are asking the remote way of accessing the lab will be possible for your students to do project. Yes. Okay. Great. Right. Okay. Thank you. So I'm sure I will go back to my slides and then I will answer that. So the next 20 minutes, I'll quickly take you to some of the very interesting uh, way of engaging your students. A remote engineering lab. So NI provides a hardware. The name of the hardware is called ELVIS. ELVIS. Some of the participants, your college may be having this hardware, maybe using the hardware. I don't know, uh, uh, but it's a very interesting, good hardware for various reasons. The first reason is in the ELVIS hardware, the right side, you have all these instruments: Bode analyzer, a 4-channel oscilloscope, a 2-channel function generator, a voltage current analyzer, a pattern generator and logic analyzer, variable power supply, and multimeter. All are real. These are the real instruments available here. The right side, okay? Almost 7 instruments, right? In the left side of ELVIS hardware, you have analog input, analog output, digital IOs, power supply. How many channel? 16, 4, 40. 16 analog input, 4 analog output, 40 DIO, and power supply plus 15, minus 15, and 5 volt. And you also have audio input, output, potentiometers, push buttons, switches, etc., etc. In the left hand side, in the base of the hardware, you have a Xilinx Zinc 7020 ARM Cortex 9 FPGA processor. Xilinx Zinc 7020, which has a ARM Cortex 9 processor also. It's basically a SoC. So in the right side, you have all these instruments. In the left side, you have all these IOs. In the base of the device, you have the embedded processor. And you decide how do you want to program. If you like C, please go ahead and write 100 lines of code to write a simple stepper motor control application. If you like Python, please go ahead and use Python program. Or if you like graphical program LabVIEW with the last 4 days of interest, you can still do it with the graphical approach. Now, what you can do is you can build any type of circuit in this breadboard. These are the breadboard, right? For example, I will develop a filter circuit here. I will develop a amplifier circuit here. I will develop a oscillator circuit here. I will develop a rectifier circuit here. The circuit will be built and kept ready with the proper wiring connection in this hardware. Now, this will looks like this. Once the circuit is built, it will be like this, right? Can you see here? So I have developed a circuit and all the instruments, source, measuring instruments, all the wiring connections I have given. I'm sure you might have been seen the demonstration of this device. One of you can unmute yourself and say yes, no. Have you seen this hardware demonstration?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this device can be connected remotely. What is meant by remotely? Have you seen how to access remotely this device? Hello? Hello?
Sir, you are audible, sir.
Have you seen the demonstration of this device to work remotely?
No, not remotely, sir. We
Okay.
have seen actual hardware, how
Okay.
it works, not remotely connected through servers or some other.
Okay. Okay. Now I will show you. I will open the Google page. I will choose measurement live is the link. You don't need to install any software. If this device is available in your college, if the circuit is built by the faculty member or the lab technician or teaching assistant in the breadboard with a proper wiring connection, I can have a camera which will video stream the circuit to me where I am sitting in my home, and I will open this page which is called the measurements live, and I will connect the ID, device ID. The device ID is right now, I asked my office person what is the device connected. So he sent a WhatsApp message. It is NILMSZVWUN. So this is the ID, and I will type. I'm the user currently, Vishwa connect. So now what happens? This will try to connect NILM. Yes. Is it true? If it's a case sensitive, if it is not typed properly, is it VWUN? Okay. Invalid device ID. Okay, let me ask them again because it is not working. Let me get the update from them and then I will show you a demonstration. So once the device is connected, what will happen? I can show you the instruments which I wanted to control remotely. Okay, this is the way your students can able to develop the algorithm sitting in their home and connect the hardware remotely so that they can able to perform the experiment whatever they want or the project whatever they want.
Wait, Colin. Backup.
Sir, you have a question, sir? Sir, you have any question? Okay. This features already I have explained. This hardware is very popular in academics, particularly in the current time. Almost most of the IIT, NIT, IIIT, private universities like SRM, VIT, even colleges like BMS, they all have these devices and they are using it in remote way of education and engaging the students. The biggest advantage of this hardware, LVIS hardware, if you look at the image which I have shown earlier, the breadboard was empty breadboard was present in the LVIS earlier. But that breadboard can be a detachable one. You can put various boards. For example, you want to teach concepts like FPGA based digital electronics. So you have a specialized board. Or you want to teach something on power electronics. You have a specialized board from Texas Instruments. And these are the concepts you can teach using that board. Similarly, if you want to teach the energy-based applications like buck and boost converter, you want to teach inverters, you want to teach switch mode power supply, etc., you have a specialized board from Quanser with the same LVIS hardware you can able to integrate. Or you want to teach a control system using a plant like a servo motor and inverted pendulum, where you wanted to educate your students to develop a speed control, position control, or a time domain, frequency domain analysis, or developing a new type of algorithm. So what will happen? I can sit in my home, develop the PID algorithm or fuzzy algorithm or LQR algorithm in LabVIEW or LabVIEW interfaced MATLAB programming, and this hardware is connected into my this hardware is in my campus, which I'm remotely connecting and running my algorithm. How does it work, right? Similarly, different type of motor, actuator board, and sensors. If you want to teach a different type of sensors, LVDT, pressure, encoders, all these things, right? And lastly, you want to teach system design, even communication, analog, digital, wireless communications, or you want to teach some projects. This was the question, right? Somebody was asking me, Mr. Mohan Kumar sir was asking, remote access of the hardware will help our students to do project. So senior design and projects can be done, like system administration, IO monitoring, system controller, time loop, interrupts, data logger. All these capabilities can be accessible remotely with FPGA programming and wireless communications. So if this device is available in the campus, and if you connect this device to the computer which has the internet, and the students can remotely access and do whatever they want. Now I hope, let me try. I got the another passcode. Let me try with the new device ID. Capital NIMR ZNR IHM. If it is connected, it's great. I can able to show you a quick demonstration. So basically what we have done is the device NIMR ZNR IHM. Okay, I think there are some internet problem in the office. Yeah, it is connected now. You can see here disconnect option is coming, so it is connected. So basically they developed a filter, RC low pass filter circuit in the office, and the value is 1 kilo ohm and 0.1 microfarad. You know the time domain response. Above the cutoff frequency, the amplitude will be reduced. In the frequency domain, you will always see the 3 dB point in the cutoff frequency, right? So the value of the cutoff frequency, if you type 1 by 2 pi RC formula, it is 120, 130 hertz. So let me run the, you need the internet connection obviously to access remotely. Let me enter the value and then run it and see how does it work. Device not connected. Why? Connect. And more than one person also can log in. For example, if I share this device ID to you, you can also log in. I'll put it in the chat box. Control V. So one of you can also log in. What you do, Measurements Live is the website, Measurements Live, and then copy paste the code which I have sent. Failed to communicate because I'm also in home and let me do a last try. Network, copy paste the ID, Vishwa. From the participant side also you can try, because my network is poor here. Probably you can try it if it is working in your system. Could not connect the device, contact your admin. Okay. Okay, but anyway, I will share the video how the step-by-step process can be done. I'm sure you might have been experienced with the speaker in the last few yesterday or day before yesterday. Multisim live again. Uh, the students no need to install the software Multisim. If they have an internet facility, they can able to do any type of circuit simulation. Office caller. Okay. So Multisim live. So create a circuit, you can able to let. So I'm not installing any software. I can able to use the web portal and I can create any type of amplifier, filter, oscillator, analog, digital, power electronic circuits here. And you can also see public circuits. There are hundreds of thousands of circuits developed by students, educators, and shared. So if you're interested to look at circuits related to diodes, related to comparators, counters, DAC, you have almost 55,000 circuits available. And all these circuits are editable. So you can, for example, let me open this circuit. This circuit is a digital to analog converter circuit, and open the circuit. So today, when you are feeling that you are not able to engage your students in the lab because of so many reasons, now this is the opportunity. You can move your students from the hearing to doing, at least in the software level. But when there is opportunity, the hardware based experiments also done by your students. Either they can come to the campus if the situations are okay, or if there is a grant received from AICTE or some other source of grant, then you can have the LVIS hardware in your campus and students can able to perform the hardware based experiments also.
Sir, it is connected to me. Sorry for the disturbance.
No problem. It is connected for
Yes.
you?
Yes, sir. It is
Okay.
connected.
Can you go to the bode analyzer?
Yes, sir.
And yeah, it is connected for me also.
Okay.
I will also open
Okay, sir.
bode analyzer. Yeah, you can also join, ma'am. We both can learn together. That is
Sure.
advantage of this remote learning, right?
Okay.
So can you also follow the same step, ma'am?
Yes,
Bode
sir.
analyzer
I am
open.
already in that screen. Yes.
Yeah. Then can you able to see there is a run button enabled in the
Yes,
top?
sir. Yes, sir. I can.
Just to click the run button.
But so I have to set the start frequency and stop frequency according to.
I think you can go with the default, ma'am. 10 hertz or 1 megahertz, right?
Yeah, 10 hertz to 1 megahertz.
That's fine, because 130 hertz is the cutoff frequency. So you run the program with the default value also, it will work.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So now I'm not doing the experiment. Madam is doing the experiment, which is remote access of the hardware physically present in totally different location. Once my internet is good, I can see what madam is doing. I can learn together. I can ask ma'am on what basis you put this 10 hertz, 1 megahertz, what is the 3 dB point, etc., etc. Can you able to see the response, ma'am, in the graph?
No, sir, still it is in the run mode. It is not showing any display. Okay.
Okay.
It's not showing any plot on the gain plot or phase plot. Yes, sir.
So the run button is enable or disable, ma'am, currently?
Disable. It is asking to stop now, but it is not showing anything on the field display.
Okay, stop it and run it once again, ma'am. And
Sure. No, I think internet is very slow here. Run button is disabled now.
Disabled. Okay. So let us know once it is running.
Yes, sir. Sure.
It would be good. Yeah.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah. Let me go back to the few more slides. So this is another example to engage your students in the simulation level using Multisim Live. Okay. Please give this information to your students. No need to pay. Obviously, when something is free, it will not be 100% feature enabled, but whatever feature available, they can use it to start with. Okay, this also fulfill your accreditation criteria like NBA, NAC, Abbott, etc., etc. So these are the skills they are looking for, right? How much you are able to bring the modern way of learning, teaching, education, right? So NI-based hardwares are fulfilling majority of the attributes looked at by these accreditation bodies. I'm sure you heard about the MIDAC, you heard about MyRio in the previous sessions. I will talk a little bit about the robotic side. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the software is same. LabVIEW, probably I will use the toolbox called the robotics toolbox, and using this hardware, I can able to perform various robotics application like rover vehicle assembly system, balancing arm, self-balancing robot, and these all are comes with the uh, discrete components. Actually, the student have to build this design. The student have to build this design. We will just give you the set of components like accelerometer, gyro. The algorithm has to be developed by the students, the closed loop control, right? And there is another hardware called a RoboRio, which is very popular in the competitions. First Robo, FRC, FLL. These are the prestigious international competitions where the NI-based hardwares are recommended to use for the candidates to participate in those competitions. And there are very good materials available. The students no need to worry how to use, the faculty no need to worry how to introduce experiments in the lab. And we also have a research-specific robotics hardware. This hardware name is called Compact Rio. If you look at this one hardware where you can connect the cameras, where you can connect the different type of motors, stepper servo, BLDC motors, different type of sensors, HMI, and in a very, very small form factor with IoT enabled. So the focus will be more of innovations. I believe there are some electronics and communication engineering faculty members. For their interest, the conventional way of teaching, doing analog and digital wireless communication is a component level or trainer kit level. Today, those days are gone. People wanted to work in the real time. So NI come out with a hardware called USRP, and you have a demonstration also today or tomorrow, software defined radio hardware. You have a transmitter and you have a receiver, and you will develop a complete communication in the software, and you will deploy in the hardware and see how your algorithm works in the real world signal of transmission and reception. And ready to use courseware are available. You can straight away implement all this in your undergraduate, postgraduate courses and research also.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
5 minutes left, sir.
Yeah, we are winding up, sir, now. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is another example. The same SDR hardware can be extended for research. If any of the participant is doing research in the wireless communication domain, this is the opportunity. The platform is available with the NI, the software and the SDR hardware, and there is a grant where you can apply under AICTE RPS, and let us hope if it get clicked, you may be able to set up a facility in your campus. And NI is also working very closely with a lot of universities and industries for 5G prototyping. If you can go to ni.com website, you will get a lot of information. This is very interesting for you and your students. Okay, all these things are good, but what is the potential opportunities for my students everywhere? To name few companies, which is very, very popular for students as a dream company, dream offers. These are the companies uses NI technology, NI platforms for various research. And if the students are wanted to do higher education outside India, those universities also using. So when these students go to those universities, they will be happy looking at, yeah, I learned all these things or used all these things in my undergraduate itself. And R&D organizations and very interesting applications. You can also visit the IIT Madras. HTIC is a center called Healthcare Technology Innovation Center. They did a ART-Sense, which is a identifying blockage in the arterial stiffness using NI software hardware as a platform for prototyping. And for your information, NI as a company, we just not sell the product. We work with you on various engagements, faculty level, student level training, workshops, seminars, internships, funded project submission, competitions, certification programs, etc., etc., etc. Right? And this is one motivational for all of us. Yeah, 8th class student could be able to use NI My Rio hardware and developed the robo for helping the people in the disaster time period from Bangalore, Delhi Public School. So these are the things we have to show to our students and tell, use the tools. We don't have any problem in using C or Python or MATLAB, but please remember whether these tools allow you to innovate fast, discover fast. As long as that is happening, there is no problem to use whatever the tool. When those tools are limiting our innovation, consuming a lot of our energy and effort and time, we don't have that much time. We have to complete our project in 3 months, 3 years, research, etc., etc. So we have to be smart enough to choose the right tool, which will do hardware and software integration, which will help us to do design to deployment, not just doing testing or not just doing simulation. So this is my contact details. With this, thank you so much for your. This is one of the university established NI based labs. Okay, fine. This is my contact. Thank you so much for your time and interaction. And if there is a possibility, I will answer the questions, whatever you have. So I will try, but please go ahead and ask the question if you have. Is a multisim live is free? Yes, multisim live is free. Free for limited functionalities. So how do you know limited functionalities or not? Please go to the website, spend some time, ask your students to spend some time. They will come back and tell how much they can do, how much they cannot do. And if the student want to buy, they can buy it. That is also possible. Student edition of multisim also available. You can ask the students to write a mail. I can send you the details, what is the price and from where they can buy also. Yeah. So any questions? So I strongly encourage the participants, please spend some time on this call for proposal submission. This is the example, right? Nagarjuna College last year in collaboration with the NI could be able to submit this, and good that they could be able to get the grant and create a education awareness about this LabVIEW and its application for last 4 days, right? Similarly, if your college willing to apply, please go ahead. Or if you want to apply for some research promotional scheme, please go ahead and apply. We will be happy to support you with the details. So I'm done, sir. Rohit, sir, I'm done. Thank you for the opportunity provided. If there is a time available, if there is a question from the participants, I would be happy to answer. If there is no questions, all the best for next 1.5 days.
Participants, any questions? Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Visharan, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir. Participants, please join back at 11:30 for session 2.